Hello, I'm Valerie Daniels-Carter. First, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. We are so excited as we prepare for the launching of our inaugural broadcast that is only 2 weeks away. We are strategizing, trying to make sure that we cover every topic that is relevant, topics that will help you, aid, strengthen, and encourage you. Tonight, I want to share with you a presentation which I did a few years ago with the state of Wisconsin during the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. event. I spoke about perseverance and greatness. God has designed you with greatness inside, and we want you to be able to expand upon that which God has seeded in you. I pray that you will enjoy this message.
Just in time, I'm walking in authority, more than a conqueror, don't you see? Power to win, again and again, courage to grow. You better believe it, I live in my destiny. Yes, I live in my destiny.
I am so honored and humbled to be with you on today and celebrate this wonderful day, the 37th annual tribute honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was a minister, an activist, one who led civil rights through a movement called nonviolence. Nonviolence was his guiding principles. He started in the 1950s, which we all know was not the greatest time in America to get up and make a declaration for independence and freedom. But he did it because he understood who he was, what he had been called to do, and why he had to do it. He left here in 1968 prematurely because of what he believed in. Your topic for today's session is the journey ahead. Edgar Albert Guest penned these words: I have to live with myself, and so I want to be fit to know myself. I want to be able to stand as the day go by and always to look at myself straight in the eye. I don't want to stand with the setting of the sun and hate myself for things I have done. I want to keep myself pure. I don't want to have a closet shelf full of a lot of secrets about myself and fool myself as I come into the thinking that no one else will never know the kind of person I really am. I don't want to dress myself up in shame. I want to go out with my head erected high. I want to deserve the respect of all men. But here is the struggle for fame and for wealth. I want to be able to like myself. I don't want to look at myself and know that I am a bluster or bluff or an empty show. I can never hide myself from me because I see what others may not see, and I know what others may never know. I can never fool myself, and so whatever happens, I want to be self-respecting and conscious free. As Mr. Guest penned those words, I'm sure he internalized what Dr. King represented for many Americans across the world. Because one of the most difficult things for a person to understand is their purpose, how to be effective, successful, and sustainable, how to overcome obstacles despite what may be in front of you. There are certain questions you have to proactively and honestly ask yourself if you indeed are going to be a beacon of change. I stand before you today because I represent the future that Dr. King could not see, but he fought for. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Later today, I'll be doing an autograph signing of a book that I wrote. Talks about my life journey as a businesswoman. I know you see me now and I don't look too bad. But I'm here to tell you that I don't look like what I've been through. And I know many of you can attest to the fact that you don't look like what you've been through. You sit in here today and you look beautiful, you have smiles on your face. But there were many times that you had to endure hardness in order to get to the next level. First question I have to ask myself is, who am I? And what do I really want to become? I've been a businesswoman in Wisconsin for 35 years, the largest female franchise owner in the world. Say, what brands? You know, I have to promote my own. Burger King, Pizza Hut, Annie Ann's Pretzels, Coffee Beanery, Haagen-Dazs ice cream, VJ Cafe, Nino's, Mayo, My Yogurt. But I did not get there overnight. As a matter of fact, when I applied to Burger King in 1982, they lost my application. I called them back. Said, where is my application? They said, we never got it. I said, no problem, I know how to fill another one out. I filled out my second application, sent it in, had a signature that came back to me that told me that they had received it. I called them. Same response. We don't have your application. Says, not a problem. I know how to fill it out again. So the third time I filled out an application, sent it in, got my signature that they had received it, called them up, got the same response. They said, we don't have your application. I said, well, hold on. Tell me who is Mary James Rakowski that signed for this package, the date, the time. Does she work at Burger King? You have to have perseverance. After they found Mary Jane, they found my application. But my application did not get processed just because they found Mary Jane. My application sat on the desk of the VP of franchising. I called every week. Are you going to process my application? I called them until they got tired of me calling them. And they set up an interview for me and told me to go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, because at the time Pillsbury owned Burger King, and I would have an interview. I prepared myself, went to Minneapolis, Minnesota. My appointment was at 8:30 in the morning, so I got there at 8 o'clock. When I got there, I went to the office that I was supposed to go to. Nobody was there. I waited on the outside for somebody to show up. Eventually, about 8:25 or so, the secretary came in and unlocked the door. I looked at her, I said, my name is Valerie Daniels-Carter, and I'm here for an interview. She said to me, oh yeah, I remember you're supposed to be here today. Why don't you have a seat in the foyer? I sat down in the foyer, talking about 1982, not 1950, 1982. And as I sat in that foyer, I began to ponder and think about what I was going to say that would convince someone that did not look like me that I could do what needed to be done. How could I convince this man that greatness is purposeful? He walked in, walked by me, did not speak. I sat there. Noon came. I sat there. He walked out for lunch, did not speak. I sat there. This was a Friday evening, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock that evening, he walks out of his office, and he says, are you the young lady that I'm supposed to interview? And I said, I am. He says, well, I can't interview you today because me and some of the boys are going hunting. I says, you're going hunting? He says, yes. I said, can I go hunting with you? He said to me in amazement and shock, yes. So he picked up his bag and started walking towards his truck. I didn't have my bag because it was back at the hotel, so I just started walking. I walked towards his truck. I sat in the back seat. They drove me to a place called Minnetonka, Minnesota. Some of you all know about Minnetonka, Minnesota. There was a cabin up, and I'm watching my clock. They should have put the clock this way on me. I'm watching what is going on, and all these guys are in the cabin. They're having a good time. I'm sitting there. This is not a made-up story. This is a true story. Once you get the book, you'll get the full flavor for it. I'm sitting there. Night has already fallen. I'm looking around. One black female in a cabin with 14 white males. This ain't a good story. So I tell them, I said, look, I'm gonna go back to the hotel because it doesn't look like I'm getting an interview today, but I'll be back. They said, you'll never get back because of the snowstorm and because of where you are. So I pick up the phone, I dial 911. I said, we've got an emergency. Can you see where I am? They said, yes, we can see where you are. I said, you have to come right now. So they came, they got me, they took me back to the hotel. But on my way back to the hotel, I wrote down every turn because I knew I was going back. Here's what you have to understand. It is not about who you are. It is not about where you're going. It's about your perseverance to get to where you're going and not allow anything or anybody Well, you're going to have to buy the book because I got to close now. Greatness is purposeful servanthood with integrity that pursues after excellence without compromise. It ignites the inward qualities of a believer and causes them to radiate from the inside out. It is who you are when you have acknowledged and accepted your core spiritual attributes and are a living testimony to divine purpose. It's not based on how strong or how rich or even how skilled you may be, but it is predicated on how well you navigate in your defined assignment. It requires you to be honest. It requires you to recognize your disposition while having the intelligence to manage between your seasons of trials and times of victory. Greatness is not blind. It recognizes the forces that try to destroy it, but it does not give in to those pressures. Greatness and excellence are forces that we have to contend with if we're going to seize and take Wisconsin to the next level. I challenge you today to lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony.
Hi, this is Valerie Daniels-Carter, and I invite you to join me on September 22nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the inaugural Power to Win Series Session 1. You will be inspired, informed, motivated, challenged, and encouraged to live in your God-given purpose. Join me September 22nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, thank you for tuning in to our broadcast. I encourage you to invite your friends, your family, business partners, and others to join with us each Tuesday evening beginning September 22nd, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Power to Win broadcast. Our first series is entitled The Reality of Recovery. Oh my goodness, you don't want to miss it. I know you will be blessed. See you on September 22nd, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. God bless you and be empowered.